Good morning, everybody, and welcome back for your weekly energy forecast and oracle reading. So let's see what this week holds, because I feel like this week there's going to be quite a bit of change. So let's see, changes, upgrades, going from one way of being to another, sometimes in ways that we like and some ways we don't always like, but let's see what comes up. Okay, so let's get a card out for today and tomorrow, being Monday and Tuesday. We have the Six of Wands. If you look at this card, this witch, she's got all these beautiful flowers in her hand. She's surrounded by people that love her and adore her. And this card talks about success, victory, a job well done, confidence, winning a battle of sorts, victory. Okay, and this witch has been through, I'm hearing, trials, tribulations, but she hasn't done it alone, Spirit is saying. It's like she's had the power of community around her, whether it be friends, family, what have you. So I'm asking Spirit, how is this relevant to all of us as a collective? And they're saying, we've done a job well done. Like, we've been through a lot. We've faced our shadow. Scorpio season is all about facing our shadow and plumbing the depths of our dark. So this is a beautiful card where I'm hearing the word respite. So it's like today and tomorrow we might feel like we can breathe a little bit easier after the tumultuous energy that we've had over the last while. We can breathe, we can revel in our successes. And this is also to do with forthcoming success, because I'm hearing Spirit say that a lot of what we're working towards, whatever we're working so hard to create, etc., it's coming to fruition, but we need to clear the blocks first, right? So in other words, the analogy they're giving me is if you want to buy a brand new couch, and you love this couch, you've been wanting this couch forever, you want to bring it into your home, don't you need to make some space for it first? We need to clear the clutter, whatever is blocking the space for this new couch to come in successfully. So if you've been having a bit of difficulty recently, please know it is a clearing. That's what Scorpio season is all about clearing the old, clearing the clutter, clearing the emotional blocks that have really been holding us back and stopping us from getting what it is that we really want. Okay, now let's get some guidance from the angels and ancestors by Carl Gray. We had this card last week as well. It's called Seer. It says, see beyond the current situation. This ties in perfectly with whatever that has been coming up for us recently, the struggles, the hardships. Try see beyond it, right? Try to see that there's more, it's revealing parts of you that you didn't know were there, right? So again, with a decluttering analogy, as we go into a room that needs to be decluttered, as we dig through everything, we find things that we forget we had. So in other words, as you're decluttering the room of your life, you might find that there was a strength that you didn't know that you had. Maybe there's a confidence you didn't know that you had. Maybe there's a bigger heart there that you didn't know that you had. Maybe there's compassion, etc. The list is endless. But there's also aspects there that has been holding us back. So maybe what's been holding us back is a whole lot of people pleasing. That's not the ideal trait to have, because it can really block what it is that we really want. There can also be blocks to do with accidental self-sabotage. You know, things like that, that's going to come to light now. See beyond the surface of yourself and of your life, and you'll see hidden gifts, hidden treasures. And there's also hidden treasure in the things that are not so good, like, for example, people-pleasing. As we become aware of people-pleasing, we know it's there, we become aware of it, which means as we go forward, we can choose not to engage with that shadow aspect of ourselves anymore. So let's see beyond what meets the eye. Okay, let's get some guidance now from the Starseed Oracle. What further elaboration is here? What life hacks are here for the beginning of the week? This quite draws my attention. You can't make this shit up, I swear. It says perspective. None of this matters. Zoom out. Common ground. If you look at the earth, look how tiny it is. We look at Earth from this perspective, we can really feel like our problems, our issues are really not as big as what we thought we are. Oh, the counsel here is as we uncover what we're digging out and decluttering from that room, don't get swept up in it. Don't think, oh, I coulda, shoulda, woulda, shouldn't have done that. That wasn't very bright. Zoom out, okay? Don't take things personally. Don't beat yourself up. It's about perspective, because when you first develop those shadow aspects of yourself, maybe you didn't know that they were there. Maybe you didn't know that that was your soul's defense mechanism or your conscious mind's defense mechanism to protect yourself from a perceived threat. Zoom out, okay? It's not as big and dramatic as what we think. Now that we know that those things are there, we can work on them because we're aware of them now, okay? Now let's see, what do we need to surrender in the beginning of the week? What do we need to surrender in order to move forward better? What do we need to surrender? Surrender to your attachment to results. It says the formula for success, this one, is to do all you can to make things happen. Then let go of the results. Holding on too tightly to a desired outcome can sabotage it. So here, as we're digging around in our room of clutter of our life, again, we might see unconscious patterns that we didn't know that we had, right? So let us surrender those in a sense where those attachments, if you will, those fears, those negative behavior patterns, those negative programs that are running in the back of our mind, let's witness them, let's observe them, let's thank them for being the teachers that they are, and let us not let those things take this away from us. As in, like something you're working towards, something you're wanting to manifest, something you're wanting to create. Don't allow those little programs that we're going to discover that we have take this away. Okay? Again, Spirit is using the analogy of nature here. In other words, let's say you're wanting to plant something. Figuratively, you want to plant some flowers, you want to plant some herbs, what have you in the garden. You plant your seeds, you do what you can, you feed them, you water them, and then you walk away. Okay? You don't stand there and watch the plant grow. You don't yank it up out the ground to see how it's doing, because it'll die. That means we do that when we are so attached to the result that we can't stop looking at it. We can't stop poking at it. We can't stop fiddling, right? Another analogy is when we're baking a cake. We don't sit and watch it. We don't open the oven 10 times and poke at the cake to see if it's done. It's going to flop. So as you are manifesting the new, as you're wanting to bring whatever it is that's new into your world, take the actions that you can every day and then forget about it. Get on with it. Get on with the joy of being a human, okay? Because when we surrender attachment to the results, miracles can happen. But we can't make that miracle happen, okay? That miracle happens with the divine. Okay, that's how we manifest. Okay, so interesting start to the week. Let's see now the middle of the week. What guidance is here now for Wednesday and Thursday? Temperance. Look at this witch. She's in tree pose. Interesting, I heard the word tree. Be rooted, be grounded like a tree. You know, a tree can go through a hell of a lot. You know, the wind can blow, there can be gales, there can be storms, and that tree stands its ground because it's well rooted, okay? And also its leaves, its branches, and even to a degree, its trunk a little bit, is very flexible. So we need to be well-rooted, well-grounded, balanced, and patient. And then we will be able to be flexible and to be able to go with the flow, right? Because Spirit is saying sometimes the results are not always what we expect. Again, let's use the plant analogy. Let's say we plant the seed, we fed it, we watered it, we planted, let's say, sunflowers. Okay? Plant the sunflowers. We walk away, we come back the next day, it's not a sunflower, it's a rose. Even better. So Spirit is saying, again, surrender the attachment to the results, because we might not always get what we want. We might get instead what we need, or we didn't know that we actually needed. So Spirit is saying, raise your sights high, expect the best when you plant that seed, expect the best possible outcome that is the highest good for all, and you will be pleasantly surprised. And the reason Spirit is saying this is because sometimes we set our sights too low. Sometimes our expectations are too little, and we underestimate the universe. We underestimate what we can have, right? So let's set our sights high, but let us not be attached to that specific thing. But we must be specific about the way we want to feel. Okay, what that situation, object, person, experience, whatever. We need to be specific about what that makes us feel, because the universe delivers feeling. Okay, so don't attach so much to the object or the outcome. Attach rather to taking it easy, you're doing the best that you can in the here and the now, you're rooted, you're grounded, but you're also flexible as to the how that all of this occurs. Understanding that everything always happens for the highest good of all. That's one of the most divine metaphysical laws. Okay, so there's that. Balance, patience, temperance. Okay, let's see what guidance is here for the middle of the week from the angels and ancestors. Oh, I'm torn between two. I think I need both of these. Okay, the first one, it says, Magic Guardian, unlock the magic within. Spirit is saying, as we go through this week, and as we choose to breathe and relax through absolutely everything that we've got going on, we'll start to see those results that are better than what we imagined. And we'll start to realize that there's like a magic about it. That things can happen by magic. Because Spirit is saying, please never, ever, ever, ever underestimate the universe. Miracles happen all the time. Miracles are normal, right? So when you expect miracles, that's exactly what you'll get. But don't tell the universe what kind of miracle to give you. Just be open to miracles and know that you're worthy of them. And know that you are a magical being. You're a very powerful manifester because you're made of spirit. Your spirit comes from source. And as we know, source is all powerful. And so are we. And we need to realize and learn that we are magical beings. Beautiful. Okay. The second one that, makes sense. Shapeshifter. It says transform and unveil your gifts. Spirit is asking us the question, where are we holding ourselves back this week? Where are we denying our gifts and talents? Where are we thinking that we're not good enough? Or not worthy, or we're not as good as Mary or John or whoever. It's time to show the world who you really, really are, and to show what you're made of, and to show what you actually have to offer the world. Because Spirit is reminding us that all of us humans, we all have very unique talents, and we all have at least 2 talents that we have to offer the world. And I'm hearing the word currency, money, prosperity. So as we show our gifts to the world, as we offer our gifts to the world, that's our currency. And then in return, we receive currency, as in prosperity. But please notice they're using the word currency, current flow of energy. Money is basically a flow of energy. So if you're worrying about finances and money this week, it's time to dig deeper and to see what gifts and talents can you offer the world that can earn you some currency. What currency can you give in order to receive? Okay, show yourself, show your talents, right? It's time. Okay, let's get some further elaboration from the Starseed Oracle for the middle of the week. Just heard to pay attention to your ideas. The ideas you're getting are coming in thick and fast. Okay, this one says, Inner Earth. You'll survive this. New solutions and beginnings. Okay, so as we want what we want what we desire what we want. We need to be unveiling ourselves here. We need to be sharing our gifts and our talents, okay, in order to receive more of what we want, etc., etc. And then also understanding that the difficulties that we're experiencing, we will survive it. As that saying goes, what doesn't kill you makes you stronger. But the challenges that we're experiencing at the moment, they are really revealing parts of us that we didn't know were there, good and bad. Okay, so all sorts of new trying to come through, but we're needing to level up first. The new couch is trying to come in, the new plant is trying to grow. We can't force the plant. We've got to make space for the new couch by getting rid of the old one. Okay, what do we need to surrender in order for this to happen in the middle of the week? What do we need to surrender in the middle of the week? This one. It says, surrender to the magic of who you are. We all have magic in us, even in the mundane aspects of life. Remember that you are a magical being with a uniqueness and worth that comes just from being you. Okay? So be real, be authentic, show the world who you really are. Don't be scared. Spirit is saying in this new world that we are busy creating at the moment, okay? We need everybody's magic. We need everybody now to come out and show who they really are, because let's say, for argument's sake, right? Let's say you're in a job that you really hate, or you have a business that you feel like you've outgrown. It saps your life force energy. You just hate what you're doing, okay? You would rather be painting, sharing your paintings, writing poetry, making music, doing healing work, or turning your talent into a business. You'd rather be doing that. Yeah, listen to that feeling, right? Spirit is saying it's going to be much easier this week to step into that. So maybe start that as a sideline business, or just something on the side that will bring you that happiness and bring you bliss and bring you joy, because that will make your job more tolerable, if that makes sense. We need to express our passions. Passion and magic work together. They're almost one and the same, okay? So surrender to the magic of who you are and know that you are more powerful than what you realize. And I'm hearing Spirit say there is absolutely nothing holding you back. Absolutely nothing. And because we have eclipse this week, it's a full moon eclipse in Taurus, if I remember correctly. It's on the 19th. They're saying that this eclipse is a liberator. Okay, so it's a liberator of whatever it is that's been holding us back. It's going to be so much easier to say, I am done with this and this mindset, this and this thought process, whatever it is that's been holding me back. It's now so easy for me to let go of it now. Okay, that's what eclipses do. They are huge change makers. They bring enormous amounts of shifts, which is wonderful. Okay, now let's see Friday and the weekend. What guidance is here for Friday and the weekend? This one. Ooh, again the garden analogy. 7 of Pentacles. This lady is contemplating her harvest. She's got money trees, she's tending to them, she's looking after them, and she's evaluating what she has planted. Okay, so this card for the coming weekend speaks about results for efforts, seeing the results of whatever it is that you've been doing. And also with every harvest, we need to start again. Okay, so seeing the results for your efforts, also evaluating, are you happy with the results of your efforts? And then also at the same time contemplating your next planting, contemplating what are you going to be creating next for yourself. Okay. I'm also hearing opportunity to start over, but to start over better, coming from a place of wisdom this time. Okay. Because obviously, as I speak from experience, I'm a terrible gardener. I love my garden. I love to garden. I love plants, but I'm not very good at it. But of course, as I murder my plants one by one, or rather they just commit suicide, I think, I learn, okay, that one doesn't need as much water, that one doesn't need a bit of sun, it needs a lot of sun. You learn. So as you replant and regrow things, you do it with wisdom. Okay, and I think that's what the beginning of this week is all about, is uncovering those mental patterns, that baggage that's really been holding us back. We get to get rid of that. So as we manifest and start anew, we do it with wisdom. We do it easier. We get it done better. Okay, let's get some guidance from the angels and the ancestors for the end of the week. Can't make this up. Intend and create. So again, I'm getting this sense of, what are we cultivating? What are we creating? What are we growing? Where are we putting our focused attention? Okay. So this weekend, as you take stock, you're reaping rewards, you're getting your harvest, you're evaluating where you went wrong with your plants, your creations. So now that you get to plant better and tend to your garden better, focus on it. Be very intentional about what it is that you want next. Spirit is saying, do not take this eclipse on Friday lightly, okay? Because they're saying this eclipse is the beginning. It's the beginning. I'm hearing the word 6 months. Something to do with 6 months. So it's about planting. Again, it's the harvesting. It's taking stock. It's saying, okay, I received this and this. Okay. Now, how can I do it differently next time so I can do better, get better, right? And this is very, very powerful, this eclipse. Now, obviously, the energy is not just there on Friday. We feel a build-up, and Spirit is saying there's been a build-up for the last 2 weeks. Oh, yeah, between you and I, there has most absolutely been a build-up. Okay, pay attention to the emotions you've been experiencing over the last 2 weeks. The purging, everything that's been going on. Yeah, the way you've been feeling. Yeah, that's clearing out to make space for the new beginnings that this eclipse season is bringing. And the first one starts on Friday. So it's like the heightened energy is on Friday, but we'll feel the effects of that energy for quite a long time. Okay. Now, what I'm also getting with this energy for Friday and the weekend is let's be very careful. Let us not get sidetracked by thoughts of, I'm not good enough, I'm not worthy, I can't do this, society says blah, blah. No, this is about you being in your sovereignty. You've worked so hard and been through so much. Don't water down your intentions. Don't allow yourself to get distracted. Be so focused on what you're wanting to intend and create. Okay, don't take your eye off the ball even for a second. Okay, what I mean by that is, it doesn't mean we need to watch the pot boil. What I mean is, you're so sure and so certain about what it is that you want to experience, right? The freedom, the love, the joy, the healing, the prosperity, the whatever it is that you want to experience. You're so focused on it that the bumps in the road do not have the power to derail you the way they used to derail you before. Okay, be very clear on your intentions. Don't be wishy-washy. Whenever we wishy-washy with planting, in other words, intending and creating, we get a wishy-washy result. Okay, intense. All right, let's get some guidance now from the Starseed Oracle as to how can we navigate Friday and the weekend. This one. It says, Star Ancestors, Hidden Secrets, Lost Wisdom, Look a Little Deeper. How beautiful is that? Now, Spirit is saying I need to read out the interpretation in the guidebook. It's just worded so beautifully. I love the way this woman writes. Okay, it says, the ancients knew much more than we do about our connection with the stars. Their pyramids, temples, and other places of worship, created in precise alignment with the stars, exist in all corners of the world. What if this ancient wisdom is available for you to uncover now? You've been called to think and listen with your ancient heart and soul, to tap into the part of you that remembers and knows. All ancient secrets are whispered forever in your ears. All mystic knowing blooms in your heart. All potent power pumps through your veins. You're being invited to step into your ancient knowingness, to be held by the rememberings of star ancestors, to look a little deeper if you're feeling stuck. You've been called to do something different, to change your point of view, as we do in the beginning of the week. Creativity happens when we put together two things that don't belong. When we do the unexpected, so often a creative solution creative solution is right in front of us, but because we think the same thoughts and act the same way, we miss what's in the open. You're here to remember and uncover ancient secrets and transmissions, technology and wisdom that are so needed on the planet right now to unlock your soul's memories of a time when we lived in harmony on earth and one day will again. How apt is that? As we know, we are creating a whole new world, and we cannot move forward and live in the destructive ways that we have been doing forever. We've now got to do things differently. We've got to create this new world. And the only way we can create this new world is literally by being true to ourselves, being who we really are, and bringing our gifts and talents to the table that we felt like we've had to stifle because we've had to live on this rat race hamster wheel because we have to pay the bills. That's not a nice way to live. It's time to be authentic. Let your true self shine. As this card says here, transform and unveil your gifts so that you can create a new world. All of us are needed, every single one of us. There's not a select few of us that can make this happen. It's all of us. We're all in this together. So let's create this new love-based world by being authentic, being real, and of course, as we go through these shifts and as we go through the ascension process, unpacking bit by bit all the things that hold us back. Again, our belief patterns, situations, things, people, whatever that's been in our space, that's been clogging us up completely and holding us back from our true potential. Thank you, that's a good one. Holding us back from our true potential. Okay, what do we need to surrender this weekend? What do we need to surrender? This one. Took me a while. This card also came up, I think it was last week. It says, surrender to effortlessness. Stop pushing so hard. The art of living means going with the flow instead of trying to force the river. You cannot make this up. This is why I love using multiple decks, because they just make the story much bigger and it confirms the card that came before it. So this weekend, let us focus on, as we tend to our gardens, as we tend to our harvests, as we intend and create, let us find joy in what we're doing. Because what we do is meant to bring us joy. We're meant to love what we do, and we're meant to do what we love, right? And I speak from experience. I flipping love my work. I love the hell out of it. And so because I love my work, it's effortless. It's not difficult to do. Okay. So, Spirit is saying that's part of our conditioning. We are conditioned by society. And even our ancestors before us, you know, we were conditioned to believe that you need to work hard to get to the top. You need to slave. You need to put blood, sweat, and tears, blah, 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 in order to get anywhere. No, we don't live in that reality anymore. Okay, the reality we live in now is so much more heart-centered and heart-based, where we need to love what we do, and the more we love what we do, we bring passion to what we do, and that in and of itself is currency. That love, that passion, that enthusiasm, that excitement for doing what we love creates us. It makes us a magnet, and then we create and attract money in return. That's how the universe rolls. Maybe it didn't roll like that before, but it's how it rolls now. So what I love about this week for us in general is how we are transforming, we are changing. It feels like we're going from being slaves to being creators, to being in our power, and of course being sovereign, because this is who we are remembering ourselves to be, is that we are ultimately sovereign beings. How miraculous is that? But of course that process is a hell of a messy, because we've got to work through that programming that says you can't do this, you can't do that, you've got to be a slave, you've got to earn a salary, or you've got to be married until the day that you die, and you made your bed when you got married, and now you got to suck it up and deal. No, you don't. Okay? If it brings you peace, if it brings you joy, carry on. Whatever's going on in your life, if it's not bringing you peace and it's not bringing you joy, work at it with your partner or your boss or whoever, and see how is the opportunity there for healing, so that the situation can bring you what you want and need mutually. If not, pack it in. Be true to yourself. Be true what is good and right for you. And I promise you now, you will never go wrong. Start saying yes to yourself. I'm hearing Spirit say. Okay, so very interesting, very empowering, very transformative week ahead. Oh, just as a side note, Spirit is saying we really do need to pay attention this week to the way we feel. Pay attention to your emotions. Sorry, I was just drawn to this card. It says Water Guardian, connect with your emotions. So this week, yes, there's a lot going on here within us, and we are going to be having a lot of emotions, weepy, upset, anger, all sorts of emotions that are coming up to the surface. But Spirit is saying just feel it once again to heal it. Allow your soul, your body, your mind to process what is there, okay? Quiet time is needed because we're going through an enormous physical upgrade again this week, okay? But Spirit is saying it's all good. Remember, when you're in this moment, when you're feeling emotional, when you're feeling a bit weird, a bit iffy, a bit off, please understand it's all for good reason. You're clearing out the clutter. When we clear out the clutter of a room, it's not always fun. We get dirty, we get dusty, we get tired, we find things we didn't like, we find things that trigger old painful memories. Yes, there's some good stuff there too, which is wonderful. But for the most part, decluttering, nobody really likes it. So just see it for what it is. It's a decluttering you're getting rid of, okay? Now, I'm hearing physical symptoms this week. So physically, exhaustion, absolutely. Or even sleeplessness. You're so tired, but you can't sleep. And I'm feeling thirst. So water, please drink lots of water this week, or surround yourself with flowing water. Sit by a waterfall, sit by the water feature if you have one, sit in the bath, have a very clearing, cleansing, empowering shower. Water is very soothing, and obviously please do drink a lot of water, okay? It'll help to shift because we carry a lot of our emotions in our lymphatic systems. So we might feel a bit swollen as well. So be mindful, swollen fingers, swollen ankles, just feeling puffy, okay? Now, please don't discount that. You know, if you're worried about it, please do see a doctor. But for the most part, it feels like we're going to, and puffiness holding on to water's emotions, okay? We need to flow. It's got to come out, okay? What else? Back pain, backache. Because the energy, the Kundalini energy flowing up and down our spines is going to be activated a lot more. So if you're feeling weird, unexplainable backaches and back pains, that's why. Also digestive issues, feeling extreme hunger or complete lack of hunger. Digestive up and down, all sorts of fun and games with the digestive system. But remember, the digestive system is where we process. So as we process our stuff, our digestive system will also mirror that quite a bit, okay? So just go slowly with yourselves this week. We are changing. We are evolving. Let's allow the process, okay? Let's not hinder it. So very long video today, but thank you for being here. Thank you for watching. Thank you for subscribing. And have yourselves an amazing week. Sending you all so much love. Take care and keep well. And until next week, take care. Bye.